Yeah, I mean, I could answer that on so many different levels. I guess so. The first thing that I think about for that question is just like our students and their experience. Most of our students are genocide survivors. That's not a criteria for coming to Aquila, but because we accept women who are between the ages of 18 and 30, it happens that most of them are survivors. They're within that age range that were either very young infants or children when the genocide happened. And even those who were young kids, they still have very clear memories. It's impacted their life in so many ways, not only just losing their families and their homes, but it affects them on a daily basis. And, we have students now who their fathers are in prison for committing genocide, and we have students who...
Oh, really? Wow.
So it's still so raw. I mean, the pain and the trauma is so raw and it's so real. And so on just like a very personal level, that is extremely challenging because it's not just setting up a college for young women and teaching them business and entrepreneurship. It's doing that on top of a demographic that's suffering from very high levels of post-traumatic stress.
Really?
And so it's just completely different than working with a demographic of young people here in the States, I think.
You mentioned that it's still raw. Like, what does that mean? Will people, who are part of who are the recipients or the, givers of genocide, is there conflict, literally conflict that way, or just you could just see the pain? Like, how does it actually exhibit itself, or is it just more subtle?
So the genocide ended in 1994, and there hasn't been any violence and renewed war in Rwanda since then. But it's normal for people to live side by side in communities with the men who committed genocide.
Really?
Were released from prison. So when the genocide ended, there were over 100,000 men who were sent to prison for committing genocide, for actually killing people in their communities. And now tens of thousands of them have been released back into the community, and they've returned to the villages where they grew up and where their families lived for generations. So it's extremely common to hear about people literally living next door to the man who killed their entire family.
Are you serious?
And yeah, so I guess that's what I mean by it's still very raw, because people are still seeing it every single day.
Wow.
And still feeling the aftermath of it.